Today on the podcast, I want to talk about a really exciting new area. Now, you've heard me mention a million times that one of my favorite areas in AI is how it intersects with healthcare when it, really comes to improving patient care and improving advancements there. Today on the podcast, I want to talk about a new way that Google Cloud has introduced AI-driven search to essentially revolutionize healthcare data access and what the big implications are here, who the big players that they're partnering with, how this is going to help, with records and clinical information and all this sort of stuff. Very, very interesting. Let's dive into it. Welcome to the world's #1 AI podcast, AI Chat. I'm your host, Jaden Schaefer. Make sure that you go to aibox.ai, link in the show notes, to join the waitlist for our new AI platform. We're going to be launching an incredible platform that allows you to build anything you want with workflows in AI. So you're able to chain together ChatGPT and image generators and audio generators to make really powerful apps for your organization, or you can host them on our marketplace and actually generate royalties from them. So make sure to go to aibox.ai and join the waitlist. In addition, if you like the podcast, if you could do me a massive favor and please leave us a review on Apple or Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcast. This helps me be able to get better guests on here as they check the reviews to see how you guys are liking it. So if you could please do that, I would really, really appreciate it. Have you ever wanted to start your own podcast? I record and publish podcasts on a platform called Spotify for Podcasters, and I absolutely love it. Essentially, you can upload from your phone or computer, and it distributes to every platform that plays podcasts. They support video podcasts, and you can make money on the platform with ads or even podcast subscriptions, something that has made my life so much easier as a podcaster. So if you're interested, I highly recommend you give it a try. You can download the Spotify for Podcast app or go to spotify.com/podcasters to get started on your podcast today. Google Cloud unveiled a new feature just recently that was aimed at streamlining the way healthcare professionals access patient records and clinical information. So utilizing AI, this advanced search capability promises to sift through a whole bunch of different types of medical records and then give information in a more unified and accessible manner. So what does that really mean? The healthcare realm, I think right now, is an absolute goldmine of critical data, but this huge amount of storage systems and, formats often turns into a maze for clinicians. So, personally, I have family members that are doctors, and I've heard very often how this can be a difficulty. I think addressing this right now, Google Cloud's latest search innovation essentially empowers doctors to really quickly extract data from clinical notes. So, electronic health records and even scanned documents all kind of play into this. So, that's leaving a lot of people asking, what is the ultimate goal here? What are they ultimately trying to do? So essentially getting all of the relevant details into a single, easy to use and access location. So Lisa O'Malley, who's the Senior Director of Product Management for Cloud AI at Google Cloud, pretty much talked about this whole situation by saying, quote, "While the tool aims to save time, it also looks forward to curbing clinicians' frustrations, ensuring they arrive at answers more efficiently." So here's kind of the crux to the whole situations. Doctors, instead of going through a whole bunch of, distinct notes, faxes, and records, can now simply just ask a question like, what medications has this patient taken in the last year? And then they can get a really quick consolidated answer very, very quickly. So beyond this, the AI-backed search feature has a couple other broader implications. So O'Malley highlighted its potential use in ensuring accurate billing and evaluating patient eligibility for clinical trials, other things like that. To help address accuracy concerns, the technology will reference and link back to the original data source. I think this is really, really critical. Of course, ChatGPT could probably take a page out of this book. And I think, Microsoft's Bing is already doing this to a degree with their AI functionality and their AI search functionality, which I think is great. But essentially, right, you could say like, hey, when was the last time that they had like X, Y, and Z medicine? It tells you, and it's going to have a little link where you can click back and get to the actual document where it's going to highlight exactly where that piece of information was found, which I think is really, really critical and could be very beneficial. Of course, it's just going to save doctors so much time, not having to look through records, not having to, records transferred from one clinic to another. There's all sorts of things that are very difficult in these types of situations. And so not having to go through all of that saves a ton of time for doctors where they can actually focus on doing what is most important to them, helping people, serving people talking to more patients, and really helping more people, I think, get, good access to healthcare. And I think the reason why this is so important is because right now we're facing a severe labor shortage when it comes to healthcare. Maybe part of this is during COVID, a lot of people felt like burnt out. I know a lot of people left hospitals and other jobs during COVID and whatnot, because it is a very obviously stressful and difficult time. Healthcare centers were stressed to a large degree, and there's all sorts of reasons. There's political reasons. There's all sorts of reasons why there's this, regardless of the reasons, we have to face the truth, which is that we have a healthcare labor shortage, and it's very real. And so we're really trying to figure out how to tackle this. And I think tools like this, where we're essentially leveraging AI to save doctors time, essentially making everyone that is currently working, giving them more bandwidth, I think is going to do a lot. So this comes at a time when the healthcare sector, I think, it has this whole worrying trend I'm mentioning here, has been going on for a while. A 2016 study, which was sponsored by American Medical Association, unveiled a really, I think, kind of startling insight. For every hour doctors spend with patients, 2 hours goes into administrative tasks. This, I do not think, there's absolutely no way this should be the case. This is kind of coined as pajama time, but clinicians also essentially commit an extra 1 to 2 hours outside of official working hours on clerical duties. I think this imbalance really kind of contributed to a marked increase in physician burnout rates, which jumped in, I think it was 42% of physicians said that they had burnout in 2018. And now, as of 2022, when they redid that study, it jumped all the way up to 53%. So I'm sure a ton of that came from COVID and other things, but definitely not a very good, trend that we would really hope we can help reverse. So, of course, Google's proposition here is to help alleviate this administrative burden. Leveraging Google's advanced search and healthcare technologies, they're hoping to expedite and enhance clinicians' journeys, translating to better patient care and experience. I think this isn't just a standalone product. It's also going to be an integral offering through Google's Vertex AI search platform. I think this is a smart move on Google's part. They're building a lot of these really cool, really powerful, very useful tools, and they're integrating all of them into Google's Vertex AI search platform. This AI-centric platform essentially has a bunch of different industries that it serves. And of course, they focus on search. So it's really kind of advanced search capabilities across public domains, documents, diverse data sets, all that kind of stuff. And specifically for healthcare, I think it kind of synergizes with Google's pre-existing healthcare API and healthcare data engine products. So Ashima Gupta, who is kind of steering healthcare strategy at Google Cloud, emphasized the integration's fluidity in detail or in daily clinical workflows. She pointed out the hesitancy within the healthcare domain to embrace new tech, especially if it's, perceived as disruptive, saying, quote, "Our aim is to power the technology without adding friction to the daily routines of healthcare professionals." I think this is something you're going to see everywhere, right? Nobody wants added friction. No one wants the tools they use to be more difficult or, adding extra things to the routine. So anything you can do that really, alleviates tasks they have to do and cuts down on that, I think is going to be well received. And then, of course, they're going to be focused on privacy and all those kinds of questions. But in any case, I think while features are rolling out for early access to health and life science organizations, trials are still underway with a bunch of prominent health institutes like the Mayo Clinic, a number of other ones. Mayo Clinic's CIO, Chris Ross, was kind of cautious but optimistic, saying, "While we're enthusiastic, we're also ensuring patient care isn't compromised." And he's kind of just saying that their focus remains on identifying areas where, AI-driven solutions fit best. So a very similar sentiment from Richard Clark from Highmark Health, who's also piloting this, had kind of an overwhelming positive initial reception, saying, "The challenge lies in selecting optimum deployment area, establishing trust, and scaling the technology. Early indicators, however, point towards a transformative journey for us." So I think ensuring privacy is definitely paramount for Google Cloud. Google is not a small company. They know what's at stake here. They know the lawsuits they could face. And so I think they're going to do this right. They've also kind of reiterated that customer data remains inaccessible for the company's internal usage, and their new offering aligns with HIPAA compliance standards. So Gupta resonated a hopeful future, saying, quote, "Connecting patient-centric dots has always been the healthcare industry's quest. with AI stepping up, we're inching closer to transforming this narrative. Really excited to see where this goes in the future. Of course, Google is rolling out some really solid AI tools lately, and this is exciting for me to see, a way that we're really helping clinicians, physicians, and people in the healthcare space to do their job better and faster and not have to spend so much time on administrative tasks.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Forget the frustration of picking commerce platforms when you switch your business to Shopify, the global commerce platform that supercharges your selling wherever you sell. With Shopify, you'll harness the same intuitive features, trusted apps, and powerful analytics used by the world's leading brands. Sign up today for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/tech, all lowercase. That's shopify.com/tech.
Thank you for listening to the AI Chat Podcast. If you enjoyed the podcast, I'd appreciate it if you rate me wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you're looking for an innovative group of AI enthusiasts, make sure you check out our Discord channel and also our Facebook community. It's obviously a lot more interactive than a podcast where we can actually share software tools, prompts that we're using in everyday AI. I'll leave a link for those in the description below.